Hey everyone, this is Bobo from the Mars server. I'm here to do a video on the Fairy Village event on Mabby. Now this is actually a new event, it's not a returning event, so let's get right down to how to participate in this event. The first thing you want to do is talk to the fairy in Dunbarton Square, and he's going to be like, "Oh my god, help me! Ah!" And you're gonna get a book from him, and that book is gonna record how many times you've seen a fairy in Mabby. While you're doing this event, you might notice you might get 1.5 times training depending on how many fairies you've seen, or double training for certain life skills. You'll also notice that you're gonna get 50 rainbow drops of candy in your inventory. Now these candies not for you to consume, they're for the fairies to consume. Basically, whenever you find a fairy, it's going to automatically nab one of your candies and put a count in your little book. Now if you take a look at the book that you got from the fairy, you'll notice that there are a total of 5 different fairies. There's Melty, Munchie, Dressy, Healthy, and Woody. Now each of these fairies specifically focus on a certain type of life skill that you will need to do in order for them to appear. I'm going to go ahead and show you each and every one of them and what is probably the best way to do each one. Now before I begin, I just want to let you know that the fairies are just animations. They're not actual physical things that you have to capture or worry about anyone else capturing. They're just all RNG, they pop up randomly when you're doing life skills. Okay, let's get started. Now the first one on the list is Melty. Melty focuses on metallurgy and mining. If you have skills like Harvest Song, or even gathering buff titles, that will definitely help you for this event. You could also use things like upgraded pickaxes as well. Now for mining, you can mine the ores at Bangor Dungeon, but the best way to mine would be to go to Slab Coolin, where the stone quarry is at, and mine the Coolin stones. If you're working on metallurgy, I suggest you go to the North Beach of Core because it's super huge and not too many people go there. The next fairy is Munchie, and Munchie has a lot of different skills you can use. So you can use egg gathering from any chicken, or you can go on the your homestead and gather chickens there as long as you pay your homestead fees, not like me. Another skill you can use is milking, and that basically requires you to hold an empty bottle and then just milk a cow. It's not too popular since the cows move and you can only gather them so often. My suggestion for Munchie is to go do hoeing. Hoeing is probably the easiest one. Just, gather potatoes and save them for Christelle later. Or if you're in Turchano, you can do harvesting. So you can harvest the wheat or the barley, and you'll also get Munchie to show up. The last one on the list though is mushroom gathering, and I don't suggest it because you have to wait until nighttime just to gather mushrooms. Yeah, you don't want to do that. The next one on the list is super easy. It is Dressy, and for Dressy, all you gotta do is do sheep shearing, and that's the only skill you can do. Unfortunately, it's a little bit tedious, but here's some awesome neat tricks. Now I know some of you guys have a hard time gathering sheep because they move and it's super annoying. So what can you do for this? Well, if you happen to have a wolf pet, you can technically park your pet in front of the sheep, out in the field that is, and they will get scared and kind of like run away and stand still for a while, kind of barking at the wolf while you are free to gather as long as you want. Now it's also important to keep in mind that the alpacas do not count towards sheep shearing, so you will have to actually shear sheep. Now for those that don't have a pet wolf to do this, well, if you have a actual pet sheep, you can also shear your pet sheep or any sheep that's on your homestead. Here's a great method that I use. Basically just use Fantastic Chorus while in a party with your pet sheep, and then just kind of make it flop, sit down. And you'll notice that if you shear your sheep while it's sitting on Fantastic Chorus, it's going to have an unlimited amount of MP. Therefore, you can gather as much as you want from it without moving. Just make sure you summon the green circle and not the red. The next fairy is Healthy, and Healthy is super easy. All you gotta do is do herbalism for Healthy. As you can see, the homestead here is definitely the best method. And you'll notice that the guy has like a little blue mana herb. But it doesn't mean you have to gather mana herbs. It can definitely be any other herb. If you don't have herbs on your homestead, there are herbs out in the field that you can gather at least once you have the skill herbalism. There's also dungeons and anthill as well. Last but not least is Woody, and Woody focuses on wood gathering. So basically anything that involves you chopping trees, you know, the firewood stuff. Yeah, so even these guys too, the wood blocks work as well, the chopping blocks work as well. If you have a homestead, you can use the chopping blocks on your homestead too. Pretty much that's all you gotta do for Woody. There's no quick way to chop wood really, except for upgrade axe. Now I know some of you guys right now are wondering how long it takes to do this event. Well, ideally it's best to finish all 50 candies each day, so you can finish this event in as short as 5 days. But here is a little clip of my character doing the coolant stones for Melty in 12 Mabby hours. So it's kind of like a fast forward clip, and you'll see how many times I ran into Melty. So yes, it is kind of a long and somewhat tedious event. You know, it's really all RNG based. So you can find fairies really quick, or you can take forever to find them. So that's basically the event. Most people are using this event for the double training. As you can see, my character is getting some double training on the left. And that's all it is. Alright, so here's a total. You're also going to notice that the picture in your book is going to change over time, and that's because your village is leveling up since you are meeting more fairies. The more fairies you meet, the more training you will get for your life skills. Once you meet 50 fairies of one type, you're going to get a kind of like a totem like the ones here, like the Mari ones and the Rory ones. A little totem for your homestead of that fairy. And yes, that fairy gives stats, though I don't think it stacks with the other types of totems. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any other awesome methods to do this event, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And like always, stay awesome!